Now, Blair was a peace envoy to Palestine at the same time as being a patron of the largest Israeli settlement building body in Palestine, the JNF. David Cameron, our current foreign minister, was also a patron of the JNF. You also have to remember that Tony Blair's wife, Sherry Blair, was also an ethical advisor to the Israeli intelligence firm, the NSO Group. That's behind the Pegasus spyware. How can we forget that around 400 phones in this country are believed to have been hacked by the Pegasus spyware, including in the office of Boris Johnson while he was Prime Minister? This sounds like a state that has no respect for its own sovereignty, George. But we also, when thinking about Blair, have to remember that Israel lobbyists were key to his election as Prime Minister through his close relationship with someone I'm sure you'll remember, Mr. Michael Levy. Now, simultaneous to fundraising for Tony Blair, Michael Levy worked as a fundraiser for Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, who his son, Daniel Levy, was working for as a justice minister at the time. Now, Blair was first introduced to Levy by the Israeli embassy officer, Gideon Meir. Now, this was at the time when Blair was Shadow Home Secretary. Levy then set about raising funds for Blair from key Israel lobbyists like Trevor Chin, who today funds Keir Starmer and David Lammy, Emmanuel Kay, who was the head of the Labour Friends of Israel, and even Westfield chairman Frank Lowy, who fought in the Haganah during the Nakba and participated in the ethnic cleansing of Palestine. Now, that led to Blair getting elected to stand for Prime Minister and then eventually winning. Now, when in government, Blair strong-armed Michael Levy into a position of influence at the Foreign Office as an unofficial envoy to the Middle East. Levy was accused by Lebanese politicians at the time of advocating the Israeli government position rather than the British government position. But, you know, none of it stops there, George. You even have currently sitting in the unelected House of Lords, where he shapes legislation, John Hutton. Now, Hutton, as you will definitely know and remember, was the Secretary of Defense under Tony Blair. Well, he later went on to work for Lockheed Martin, US arms company, who benefited massively off the war in Iraq. But he now serves as a director of a Rafael subsidiary in Newcastle. Now, Rafael is an Israeli state-owned arms company. So you have somebody in the House of Lords, John Hutton, who currently works for an Israeli state-owned company. I mean, if that is not an attack on sovereignty, I really don't know what is. And you look at the trajectory of Mr. Keir Starmer. This is somebody who, when he was Director of Public Prosecutions, he only met with one foreign state prosecutor. That prosecutor was Moshe Lador, and the Israeli state prosecutor. And then 2 months later, Starmer blocked the prosecution of Tzipi Livni, the Israeli minister, when she visited this country. And now, in the leadership of the Labour Party, not only has Keir Starmer been funded by Israel lobbyist Trevor Chin, Starmer has even hired a former Israeli spy from Military Intelligence Unit 8200, Asaf Kaplan, to perform the function of social listening in the party. He's also accepted a £5 million donation from Gary Lubner, another key Israel lobbyist.